What if after a loss, a manager would lose a player forever? Now, what if it was 3 players?
We cannot replace him.
And a draw loses 1 player. Well, those are a few rules of the FM Nuzlocke. And I've done enough of those. So I decided to apply these and other rules to 5 managers, 4 of which are clubs I've done Nuzlockes at. Can they stay competitive? Can they maintain a squad? Can they even keep their job? Let's get to January and see if any of these managers can survive before the transfer market. The first game was the Manchester Derby in the Community Shield. Do we want the gameplay faster? What a miss by Haaland. Come on, Luke Shaw. You know you want to do it. Oh, off the bar. Bruno. Oh, useless. Oh, last minute. It looks like City are going to lose a player. But could they lose 3? Ugarte. Just wide. Penalties. That means Manchester City lose 1 player. They should probably be disqualified from playing football ever again. Bruno. Goal. Haaland. Oh, no. Haaland hasn't been stopped. Garnacho. Oh, he gets stopped by Ortega. De Bruyne. Ooh, good pen. For a while, both clubs converted their pens until. If you miss the penalty, you're gone from this team. Vardiol, one of the most prominent defenders in this City lineup. And he is fired. City not only lose Vardiol, but they lose another player. Manchester United have won the Community Shield. Not only Vardiol with the penalty rule, but a draw after 90 minutes means the worst player from the starting 11 via average rating is eliminated. Erling Haaland or Bernardo Silva? That had to be decided by a wheel. Haaland. You also missed the penalty, so you deserve it. I'm using the FM editor to terminate the contracts. Into the first official match day, we set our focus on PSG, who faced Marseille. Is anything gonna happen? Ooh, wait. Pause. Back post. Marseille have scored. If this stands, PSG lose 3 players in the first match of the season. Mbappé and Marseille. Well, PSG are still on course to lose a player. Good work, Marseille. PSG loses a player. It's a 3-way tie for 6.5. Fabian, Gonzalo Ramos, or Ousmane. And it is Fabian Ruiz. I think that's one they can afford. Oh no, not Fabian. It's not like we have Doué, Zera, Emery, Vitinha, and João Neves. They're facing Leicester and Man City win 3-0. Bayern won. We won't watch Barcelona. They win 1-0. Oh, what the? Pedri, injured. In Football Manager, you see injuries as red or orange. Red means you can't place them in the starting 11 or subs, while orange can. So if a player is injured before or during a match, but it changes to orange by their next fixture, they can stay. Pedri's remained red, so Barca had to say goodbye. On to the next week, and our focus is on Bayern's opener. Oh, wow. Bayern's season hasn't even begun, and they already lose a player. And Pavlovic and Upamecano, oh my days! I had a mod that wiped all injuries at the start of a save, so this is brutal for them, especially with Leverkusen in the opener. Can they survive this season? Can they survive this match? Here we go. Frimpong. Cuts inside. Frimpong. Stopped by Peretz. Oh, Boniface. Boom! 1-0. Bayern already down. Oh my days. Attacking on the right. Palacios. Boniface again! They're gonna lose 6 first-team players after 1 match. Let's see. Harry Kane. Oh, red card. Can Bayern save their season? Sane. Boom! 1 back. Minutes to go. Added time. Can Bayern rescue anything? Free kick. Leverkusen. Grimaldo. Back post. Jonathan Tah. Doesn't seal the deal, but Bayern still are alive. But corner kick. Can this save them? Sane. Kane. Ibrahimovic. Own goal. Terrier. 2. The 2. Bayern will not lose 3 players from this specific match. Rafael Guerre is terminated. Why are you unemploying people though? I'm not the bad guy. What do you mean? So, no injuries though? Okay, 2 of them are on loan. Marquinhos, terminated. Well, unlucky to your metabolism, as you are terminated. The only team that isn't down bad is Juventus, because they haven't even played a game. Man City versus Southampton. We presume City wins this, right? 6.4 from Jack Grealish. Barcelona versus Alaves, 4-0 win. Ferran Torres with a quadruplet. Juventus play against Bologna. We won't watch this one, and they win 4-0. El Clasico is next. It's not an easy match to have this early on because they're the more popular team. Oh, penal? I don't know about that, ref. I feel like he got the ball. I presume Real Madrid TV had Hernandez on the spotlight, or it's just because Hernandez is not a great referee. Mbappe makes it 1-0 Real Madrid. Let her use it. Oh, Mbappe! I give her Dorking Wanderers. Ooh, Rafinha begins his Ballon d'Or campaign right there. Modric. Oof. Barcelona on the verge of losing 3 players. Hey man, it's not my fault Real Madrid TV is all over them. 4-1. Mbappe with a hat-trick. Mbappe with a 4th. Oh my days. Barcelona lose 3 players thanks to Mbappe's quadruplet. How did Araujo finish with a 6.9? Olmo, Ferran, and Leva all on 6.2. Ooh! PSG draw Nantes 1-1. Who's gone from PSG? It's just Beraldo. All right, Man City won 3-0. Bayern drew 1-1. Harry Kane missed a pen but scored 1 goal. Sasha Bowie, another Bayern defender, gone. And then we missed Juventus. They drew Udinese 1-1. Conceição, loan is terminated. And Thuram, terminated. They actually had really good ratings, but 6.8 is the lowest out of the starting 11. Ramos, injured, terminated. How will they do in their fixture versus Angers? They win 4-0. Next game, Brighton City. Man City win with an 89th minute goal. Heidenheim, Bayern. Surely Bayern wins, even with their dismantled back line. It's another defender, Hiroki Ito. But right now we are watching Juventus. Muani 2 Yildiz. Juve's savior. Can Fiorentina ruin Juventus' day? Oh, Kopani! What a golazo! Juve have collapsed. 89th minute, 2-1 Fiorentina. Di Gregorio, fraud. Szczęsny, better. Juve lose 3 players. Di Gregorio, my bad for his pronunciation. 6.3 from Cambiaso and 6.5 from Dusan Vlahovic. We still have to look at Barcelona as well. It looks like they won 2-1 over Sociedad. Of course, European games do not count to these rules. Yep. Only domestic fixtures because from experience, it is nearly impossible if Europe is included. All right, we're gonna let this game simulate Rennes PSG. Does PSG get a win? No! A late goal from Kyogo, but Ousmane Dembele saves a couple of his teammates' lives. What the hell, crewman in a red suit? Kvaratskhelia, 6.5. We're gonna watch Manchester City versus Newcastle. Doku at striker. Yeah, City actually started the season pretty well though. We already saw PSG lose Kvaratskhelia just a few minutes ago. Oh, that's not a penalty, referee. What is this? All right, is it KDB stepping up? 1-0. Provides some chances. Oh no, lost. Why is Isak so? Oh, okay. Let's get our bags packing. City are not losing this game. Did Bayern lose? No. Juve, on the other hand, Juve drew Hellas Verona. Bruh, it's their keeper, Mattia Parin. Juve already lost their starting goalkeeper. Now they've lost their backup. Barcelona. 2 injuries. One guy's out for 2 to 4 months. The other is Lamine. First of all, what did they win? No. Before we even look into that, we have to see what players get eliminated. Ter Stegen, Balde, and it's a 4-way tie between Fati, Casado, Araujo, and Koundé. Fati. Man finally gets game time and no longer can play for Barcelona. But they also have 2 players injured. Oscar Urena, who got called up to the first team, was so happy and then he gets injured. Lamine Yamal, 10 days to 3 weeks. 6 days ago. He's terminated. Their Klassiker, Dortmund versus Bayern. Bayern not having a great season. Can they rebound? Can they keep any of their players? Dortmund on the Jan Couto, what the heck? Big save by Neuer. Bayern lose. Painha, Musiala, and Harry Kane. Barcelona win. Any injuries? Bro. Wojciech Szczęsny out of retirement? Nah. back to retirement. PSG, they won. Good for them. Kang and Lee, though. Does he already have 5 yellows? Okay, I think it's 3 yellows for Ligue 1. When a player is suspended and can't participate in their next match, they're also gone from this challenge. Juventus should have played by now, and they won. Do Paris win this game? Let's see. Ooh, João Neves. So they lose their worst rated player from the starting 11. They also lose João Neves. We're right now watching Napoli versus Juventus. Big rivalry in Italy. They do have Pinsoglio in goal. Here we go. Lloyd Kelly, best Juve signing in history. To Nico Gonzalez, misses the net. Douglas Luiz had a great free kick on the weekend, but doesn't score here. And the player they lose is either Nico Gonzalez or Milik. Oh, come on. Actually, no, this is good for Milik. He doesn't have to deal with this bull crap. Okay, based on our rules, they technically lose 1 player because they were tied after full time. And Stefan Ortega is the one that's eliminated. If you're a Barcelona fan, cover your eyes. Their 3 worst players are Koundé, Gerard Martin. Now you're seeing players eliminated who weren't part of the first team, unlike how I did my Nuzlocks. That is fine since managers will use first team players for the most part. As expected. Oscar Bob, when did he get injured? 3 days ago. Goodbye, Oscar Bob. PSG. They drew 0-0 with Havre. And it looks like it is a guy named Marquez Nunez with a 6.0. Barcelona looks like they won. They bounced up the table. Bayern, we have to scroll far down for them. They drew St. Pauli 1-1. It looks like Thomas Muller's exit from Bayern is happening early. Juventus drew Venezia 2-2. They at least keep their 3rd string keeper for another week. It is instead probably worse, to be honest. Kenyan Yildiz. They're a very promising striker. Club Madrid versus Barcelona. Barcelona are not having a good season, and they have to face one of the best teams in La Liga. Not a lot of shots so far. Oh. Ooh, Jose Jimenez. Barca again in the mud. At least how I see it now. Boom. DePaul. So Barcelona lose a couple of 6.2s, 3 6.2s actually. Pau Victor, Gavi, and Fermin. Bro, City are doing really well. Defeated Crystal Palace 1-0. PSG, they won 1-0. Bayern probably won. Yeah, 2-0. Finally, Juventus. Ooh, Juventus. This Ajic guy, who actually isn't bad as a starter, is gone. After October's international break, Bayern won, but Leroy Sané's injury led to his termination. Damn, City just keep winning against Arsenal's. Oh, they still won with a red. They lose their striker. I guess it's typical Pep. Who needs a striker? He can still win. 10 wins in a row in all competitions. Yeah, 8 of those are clean sheets. PSG, did they looks like they drew. No, they lost. Freaky Friday for Paris Saint-Germain, Nijanto, Hernandez, and either Kari or Donnarumma. Ooh, okay, PSG stay lucky for now. Okay, Barcelona looks like they've dropped points again. Another loss, this time to Bilbao. Hector Fort, goodbye. And a couple of youth players. Finally, Juventus. They won. 90th minute goal. City finally don't score a goal. They draw Fulham 0-0. Ruben Dish, he's terminated. It's just Kovacic with the injury now. PSG. Bro, they can beat Dortmund, but they can't defeat Brest 3-0. Wow. Okay, Donnarumma is now officially gone. He's done with PSG. Michael Lassen. Why is this guy at PSG? Terminated. Theo Muyeme. Next up, Barcelona. They lose again, not just in the Champions League, but in La Liga. 2-1 to Real Betis. Iñaki Peña, David Oduro, Cedric. Oh my gosh, 3-0 loss to Roma. Pinsoglio is gone. 6.1 here from Nicolo Ladone. Finally, a 6.4 from Muani. So conveniently, he can return to PSG. Araujo sees Barca's situation. He's like, no, I'm not signing a new deal. Ooh, upset of the year. Middlesbrough defeat Manchester City. Juma Ba. James McAtee 6.4. Claudio Echeverri. And Bayern lost. Out of the DFB Pokal. Maximilian Wagner terminate Asare Angelo Bruckner. Go ahead, Eagles legend. Before November's international break, City, Bayern, and PSG won, but Kimpembe. 7 days ago. Kimpembe. More like terminated. Barcelona finally didn't lose. But they do lose a player. Juan Piera. And finally, Juventus, who lost to Empoli 3-1, which means a fourth goalkeeper is out of the squad. Juve's last elimination and land on Gatti, the legend himself. Goodbye, Federico Gatti. Yo, you know, you're not even in this challenge in your 12th place. City win. PSG, they drew Saint Etienne. Muani should probably be dropped for missing a penalty, but he did also score off the penalty as well. A 6.1. Ooh, I don't know why my reaction was like I got a heart attack out of nowhere. But Desire Doué, 6.1. Barcelona in 12th still. They lost again. Oh my, they are the worst performing team in this challenge. So Hugo Alba, Danny Rodriguez, Tsubarsi, not at Barcelona. Bayern still doing relatively well despite lacking a squad. But they drew RB Leipzig 2-all. Looks like Neuer had a bad day. 6.0 match rating. Juventus, they're 8th place. They lose again. They lose to Brianza with an 88th and 89th minute goal. So Renato Vega, he returns to Chelsea. Another goalkeeper eliminated from Juventus. It's not even a real goalkeeper. If you're using fake players, Juventus, I will eliminate the next worst player. Kalulu, Felix Afenagian. Let's go to December 3rd. Hansi Flick against Inter could be his last. How ironic. Ooh! Barcelona in search for a new manager. Hansi Flick has been sacked. Oh, he's flicked out of Barcelona. Barcelona's run in this challenge has ended. We will take them out of their misery. Once a manager is sacked, they are eliminated and their club has to rebuild. These were the Barcelona players that remained from the senior squad. Let's look at PSG to see if Zaire Emery stays alive. No. PSG lose. But Cedric Sanchez is eliminated. Kolo Muani has broken a record, most times terminated in this challenge. Which one of these guys are leaving? Well, the guy that is injured. Man City. Yeah, they drew United. Marmouche. Say goodbye to your 350k a week contract, mate. Juventus, you are so bad. Another goalkeeper eliminated. He's terminated. And the 6.4s is either Lloyd Kelly or Locatelli. Lloyd Kelly's loan will be terminated, whether Newcastle like it or not. We don't want him back. Bayern are second. Wow, what a comeback from them. Smashing Stuttgart 3-0. Obviously, Bundesliga has more of an advantage because they played less games. And he doesn't have to play in the DFB Pokal anymore. Man City beat Chelsea. Oh wait, I missed the game. They had Spurs. So they do lose a player. Well, not even one of their main players. PSG. Luis Enrique still with his job in 5th place, but they draw Lyon 0-0. No goals, but one player eliminated, and that will be Umar Kamara with a 5.7 rating at striker. Juventus, we can't even see them in 8th. They have dropped all the way to 13th. Calciopoli 2.0, more like Fragiopoly 3.1. But they lose to Parma 2-1. 3 more eliminations, another goalkeeper, and 2 attackers, I think, that aren't that good. Super Bayern. Looks like they dropped points. 0-0 to Wolfsburg. They lose a player then. And that player is not even a starter. Okay, Marco Rosa takes over Barca, not really important. Ooh! Luis Enrique sacked. PSG are out of this challenge. We will eliminate the player that caused the sacking. They lost to Monaco 2-0. They did lose to Sturm Graz as well in the Champions League. With the last players terminated, PSG are eliminated from the challenge with these survivors. Check Champions League standings. Man City won their group. PSG finished outside the top 2. Juve finished outside the top 2 behind Young Boys. And Bayern finished top of their group. Barca 0-6 in the Champions League. Looks like City dropped points again. 1-1 to Liverpool. Wilson Esbrand is eliminated with a 6.5 rating. Bayern, they drew Bochum 1-1. Who's gone? Their goalkeeper, Daniel Peretz. Juventus, who are all the way down in 14th. Thiago Motta still has a job, and they lose to Lazio 2-1. Who's eliminated? Locatelli survived earlier in the stream, is now gone. Douglas Luiz gets a 6.0, and another goalkeeper is gone. But that goalkeeper is not real, so then the 6.1 is gone. So then Savona. Will it be a Merry Christmas for Thiago Motta or not? Who had a Merry Christmas? Manchester City defeated Bournemouth 4-0. 2 more games before the new year. Bayern, this is their last game of 2023, and they lose to Mainz 2-1. Urbig, Ibrahimovic, one of Serge Gnabry or Josip Stanisic. Stanisic is eliminated. And then Juventus, still 14th. Oh, they actually won a game. Bro, that's so bad on Milan losing that. They can only beat the Milan clubs, apparently. Can City survive with 2 games in like 4 days? No! Manchester City lose 2-0 to Brentford from a Visa brace. Ederson's on a 6.1, Gundogan's on a 6.1, and Savio's on a 6.2. Mata suggests Torino clash all about desire. Well, we'll see if he's all talk or not. Man City versus Southampton, 2-0 win. At the end of the calendar year, Manchester City have only lost 1 match. They're 1 point behind Arsenal, and Pep still has his job, and several good players still, including Scott Carson. But what about Thiago Motta? Rivalry game against Torino. They win, even with this guy in goal. 3 clubs are still alive, and with a wage budget in the millions, there are a bunch of free players on the market to make sure they can survive this season. In addition, loan players returned as long as they weren't permanently set to join another club. For these managers to now survive this challenge, firstly, don't get sacked, also don't lose all your first team players, and bad news for City. They play today, and both Manuel Akanji and John Stones have red injuries, meaning they cannot play, and thus their careers at Manchester City end today. City score first, we'll just exit the game. Calvin Phillips! The GOAT is back to cause an own goal. City win, by the way, 3-1. Tottenham in offer for Musiala. And West Ham. Atalanta versus Juve. Let's watch this one. Kostic is back. Moretti's in the lineup. Fagioli. I've done this challenge multiple times. All right, Zaniolo already scores. So there's only 3 managers left. My word, this keeper's bad. Thiago Motta, based on how this game is going, isn't going to last long either. Zaniolo again? 4-0? I mean, how's your defenders allowing these shots? Oh my days, 5-0. It's... Look, I would sim to the end of the game, but I kind of want to see how bad this gets. We want 6. We want 6. We want 6. Boom! Ravel Toloi! It's over. Who are your 3 starters that are getting eliminated? Another goalkeeper terminated from Juve. There's a 6.0 and 2 6.1. So we're gonna need the wheel of names for the 6.1. And it is Kostic. He just came back. Juventus has higher possession of the ball. What about Manchester City? They beat Blackpool 1-0. Good for them. Juve play Como in the cup. And they... It was in normal time, so 3 more players are gone. Now, I don't think any of these guys are starters. This guy might have been. Alberto Moreno, man of the match. I didn't even know he was still playing. Damn. Okay, great goal. Maybe the 8th goalkeeper terminated from Juventus. Pressure grows on Motta ahead of Udinese. Bayern are back in action. Did they sign anyone? Oh, they got Gvardiol. Very nice. They should win this one. 5-0. No injuries on their team. When was this injury? 1 day ago. He lifted weights, pulled his back, terminated. Haaland impresses on Arsenal debut. Damn. Donnarumma keeps clean sheet on Stuttgart debut. Juventus, you needed a goalkeeper and you let Stuttgart get him? Lamine Yamal makes Marseille debut. He's only on 32k a week. If Juve lose, Motta could lose his job. They win. Damn, and their goalkeeper Cat Barrow puts in a man of the match performance. And Manchester City, they defeated Wolves 4-0. Damn. Ito goes to Ipswich Town. Yes, what a sensible transfer this is. Cambiasso set for Dortmund. Neves to Wolves. The Portuguese connection is still there. They're 20th in the Premier League.
Chat get bumped.
Good one to Bayern. That's a good transfer. Lewandowski to Inter. They don't need another striker. Bologna clash could be Motta's last. That's what they said against Udinese. Can Motta survive another day? No. Is he sacked? Not yet. Cat Barrow at a 6.0. Juve just sign a goalkeeper. But it looks like Bremer and Timothy Weah both gone. Bayern lost to Frankfurt. 2 shots in the whole game. Pathetic. 5.9 for Zaragoza, 6.0 for Tel, and 6.3 for Goretzka. Marco Rosa's job is already insecure. Did they make any signings? They signed Walter as a first choice goalkeeper. Brilliant. Oh, Itakura's moved to Bayern. That's what I'm talking about. Kvaratskhelia to Bayern. Damn, Coleman to Stuttgart. Hainia set to return to Fulham. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. Doku. Oh my god. Bayern are cooking in this window. Juventus, have they made any signings? They signed Gudmundsson and Lincoln, one of the transfers of all time. And then Manchester City drew Wigan in the FA Cup due to a draw, and they lose one player. Wathurst or Jaden Heskey. But it is going to be Warhurst. Might as well watch a Bayern game, see how they're shaping up with their new signings. As good as Doku is, not a great striker, I would imagine. Or I could be wrong. No, he's not a great striker. Or maybe he is. Debut goal for Doku. Farah. Litsa. Itakura. Another debuting goal. Manchester City, so he's got a chance. Oh, wow. I like how it says FC Bayern 2 for this guy. Bayern look good. Sack looms for Motta again. Fiorentina fixture, just another game. Juventus. What is the result? 1-1. Motta survives for now. 6.2. Nicolas Gonzalez will be returning to Fiorentina. Neuer accepts Arsenal offer. They don't need him. Amorim got sacked, did he? Well, let's see how City does against Brighton. Shutting out Manchester City. A different Nico Gonzalez is eliminated from the Nuzlocke. Max Alain. Either Nico O'Reilly, Bernardo Silva, or Scott Carson will be eliminated. We will respin. Okay, O'Reilly will be eliminated. We'll eliminate O'Reilly, whatever. Kang Lee goes to Parma. Harry Kane to... What is Inter going to be playing? Nico Gonzalez to Napoli. He found a job quickly. Fati to Genoa. Mukhtar to Bayern. Vlahovic to Bayern as well. Damn. Okay, here we go. Incredible. We've reached the transfer deadline, and these are the players who have made moves. Damn, only one more transfer from Juventus, Andreas Romero. They still have 1.5 million in their wage budget. They're just not spending it. City, did they make any signings? No. Pep is like, guys, it's okay. I trust you guys will play 90 minutes every 3 days for us. I believe we can still win the Premier League. All right, guys? I think Bayern are the only smart teams in this scenario. Vardial, Meyer, Gundogan, Itakura, Kvaratskhelia, Doku. They also signed Mukhtar, Taichi Hara. They signed Marmoush. They signed Vlahovic. And they signed Enzo Milo. And so this is how it's looking like for the 3 remaining teams. Bayern, they have 19 players remaining. Juventus, 15 players remaining. I don't know if that's going to matter because Motta might get sacked sooner rather than later. And then finally, Manchester City, they have 14 players remaining. Bayern Heidenheim, 3-0. Any injuries? Ooh, Konrad Leimer, terminated. Juventus, and they lost. Juve lose. Is Motta still in the job? How does he still have the job? They've won once in the last month. 3 players on 6.3s, except the goalkeeper doesn't exist, so add the 6.4 player, McKennie. Lincoln, I don't know how you had a 6.3 with 2 key chances created. And then Man City, did they play? They drew Newcastle 0-0. So it will be one of Mateus Nunes, Phil Foden, or Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne, his exit from City comes 5 months early. Goodbye. And they have another match midweek against Wigan. City move on in the FA Cup. They do on penalties, but thanks to Joe Hugo, the legend himself, they draw after 90 minutes, which means they drew the game technically. So they lose 1 player. A little harsh, you might say, but that's the rules. It's Heskey. I mean, they didn't really use a lot of their starters. Juventus boss needs a win against Como. Bro, he's needed a win for like 5 years. City versus West Ham. Let's see what happens. City wins. Moving on to Sunday, there are 2 games, Bayern and Juventus. Freiburg versus Bayern away from home. Can Bayern get a result? Yeah, they do. Any injuries? Dyer, injured before the game. Damn, that's a pity. Contract terminated. And Kimmich, 5 days ago, still with the red injury. You couldn't make the game. Terminate. And Juve, they lost to Como in the cup. Can they get revenge? They lose to Como again. Andrea Bellotti plays for them? Is Motta sacked? Not yet. How low does it need to go, Juventus? But he's terminated. All right, Rodrigo Riquelme, for the rest of this challenge, he's terminated. So Gudmundsson, Jallo, or Rugani? All right, the wheel don't lie though. Rugani is eliminated. Terminated. Can we see Man City? They defeated Forest 3-0. Very nice. Dortmund, of course, they've signed a few of Bayern's players. Pavlovic, Upamecano, they got Sucic, they got Cambiaso and Savio now. They're a much better team than they once were. Here's the Bayern lineup. Yeah, who knows how it'll go? I took a step away, and Bayern blasted Dortmund. It looked easy for them until I came back. What happened here? This is Bayern ball? What is Vincent cooking? Although they just concede as I arrive. Chroo, go away. Oh my, maybe I am the bad luck. Upamecano undercover agent. It's not my fault. Kvaradona, first goal for Bayern, incredible. He's definitely the best team left in this challenge, no doubt about that. He gets his first goal for the club, Vlahovic. Wow, Bayern cooked. How does that like change the Bundesliga standings? They're only 3 points within Dortmund. Coriola pleased to take advantage of Liverpool's slip. Piss off, Pep. Ooh, Juve versus Napoli. We won't watch this, but what will happen? Motta's surely done by now. Motta sacked by Juventus. It has finally happened. Who gets eliminated? 2 6.3s. You're very shit, but you're terminated. And a couple 6.4s need to be spinned on the wheel. And it looks like it will be Nicolucci who is terminated. And that is the end of Juventus's run. 13th place after 25 games. Only 7 points above relegation. We're past the transfer window. They are probably screwed. These are Juventus's survivors. We wish them the best of luck to avoid Serie B. It is just City and Bayern. Bayern versus St. Pauli. Ooh, Bayern lose. 93rd minute from Elias Saad. But 6.4 for Vlahovic, 6.3 for Gundogan, and 6.2 from Uhuns. Anyways, City's Palace, what happens here? They win. But City do have a midweek game against Villa. All right, City win 1-0. 89th minute goal from Bernardo Silva. Ooh, Man City take on Arsenal. City could go into first place with a win there. Welcome to Juve, Ten Hag. Foden, Nunez, Couto, Perone, Silva, Rodri, Lewis, Ake, Phillips, Walker, and Carson. Is that enough to beat Arsenal with Erling Haaland up top? If Pep wins this, he's the GOAT, I'll say it. Haaland injured? Stay humble. Raheem. Gabriel. Oh, doesn't matter what former City striker, neither can score on their own club. And it looks like they're going to get a draw, which isn't the worst result in the world, but they will lose a player. Phil Foden, 6.5, is terminated with that draw. Did Bayern win? Looks like Bayern won. Yamal becomes youngest ever Marseille goal scorer. Bayern versus Gladbach. What will be the result? They lose! What happened, Bayern? This guy is terminated. 6.3 from Kim Min-jae. He is gone. All on 6.4s. It will not be Milo. It will be the man with X in his last name. But Man City, they drew Fulham. Defending they can do. Scoring, not so much. 6.2, Mateusz Nunes. Ooh, Bayern play Union Berlin. Union, of course, have Thomas Muller on their team. Also, City have their FA Cup game against Ipswich. And Bayern wins. But Doku has an injury. Was it during the game? No, it was before. You were so good for Bayern. Oh my gosh. Damn, that's a big loss. Man City won 2-1 with a brace from Kyle Walker. So they make the FA Cup semifinals. And they're in the Champions League quarterfinals against Arsenal. Bayern, who do they have? Atalanta. They beat Celtic over 2 legs. Oxford United? Oh my gosh. How did they make the semifinals? They beat All right, Augsburg, Bayern. Bayern wins 3-0. Very nice. Fonzie, no. Wait. Did it happen during the game? Rules are the rules. Fonzie terminated. Bayern versus Hoffenheim. City versus somebody. I think both are happening today. 5-0 win. And they have to wait for Dortmund's result, but they're first place for the time being and go to Manchester City, who defeated Ipswich Town. They stay in the race for the title. 91st minute winner from Callum Doyle is enough. Do they have any injuries? Bernardo, 5 to 8 months. It's over for Bernardo Silva. They literally have no attackers. I thought I terminated Heskey. There's another one? All right, Bayern play Leipzig. Bayern, any injuries? It is over for Joško Vardiol. 7 to 10 week injury. Red injury. He is terminated. 3-0 loss to Leipzig. 6.1. Marusic. Both Marmouche and Kvaratskhelia. Bayern could have had a beautiful team. So Bayern are still first place. Dortmund can pass them. Leverkusen can pass them. But what about Pep? What's the result? United defeat Manchester City, ending Pep's chance at the title most likely. 3 worst, and 2 of them are for sure first team players. Rico Lewis terminated. Luca Fletcher, 6.2. Maximo Perone. City are down to 8 players. Bayern are down to 8 as well. However, City could make a cup final though. That's what Pep has over Vincent Kompany. Bayern, ooh, they lost on pens to Atalanta. City lost 4-0 on aggregate. Stuttgart Bayern, 4-0 Stuttgart. Brutal. 6.1, 6.2, and 6.2. And they are Mukhtar, who was signed. Michael Scott, I don't know what he's doing at Bayern. Litsinja, who had that brilliant debut for Bayern, actually was playing well for them. Can Oxford United make an FA Cup final? No! Fair play to City, they make an FA Cup final. So it'll be Arsenal in the FA Cup final, bro. I mean, City's got a game right away in midweek against Spurs. They lose to a 94th minute goal from Pape Sarr. Maybe one of the best new gens I have ever seen in my life. A 6.5, Emilio Lawrence. Now we got to spin the wheel to get rid of one of the 6.6s. And it just misses Kuto and takes out Dunbar. Ten Hag's job is already insecure. Bayern versus Wolfsburg. 1-1. Bayern's chance at the title is seemingly lost. 6.4, it is no one of note. And then Manchester City lose 4-1 to Chelsea. 6.3 and two 6.4s. And Kyle Walker is eliminated. Goodbye. 6 players left. Oh, what the heck? He's here? They have 7 players. Okay. Bayern, they have injury. 2 days ago. When was their game? Yesterday. Taichi Hara, terminated. Can they survive this season? Can Vincent Kompany survive the sack? Murmurs of discontent as Bayern hit bad run of form. Trouble in paradise. All right. City versus Liverpool. Ooh, 2 goals. Uh-oh. Calvin Phillips. He may be sexy, but he's leaving the team. Issa Kabore, apparently useless at Benfica. Peter Rice, he's not on the list, but he is terminated. Bochum versus Bayern. Result? Bayern could drop out of the Champions League with this awful run of form, but Elise, the worst of them all. So 3 players on a 6.0. One of them will survive, the other 2 will not. Darboe is the one who survives as we terminate Enzo Milo. And Bayern lose again. And Kompany has been sacked. This challenge is over. The winner, despite losing to Bournemouth, is Pep Guardiola. But will he survive the end? First of all, we need to get rid of the 3 players for Bayern. On the second to last match day, they lose to Mainz. We're unsold, Parkadze, and Aitamar. Okay. Company's road ends here with this. All these players terminated except for 4. 3 goalkeepers and a center back. How they'll look in the future is a different story. The Bundesliga will never be the same. Pep Guardiola has, 5 players left. They did just lose to Bournemouth though, so it might not be 5 players anymore. Okay, none of the starters. They're currently 4th in the Premier League. I mean, City will get Champions League at the end of the day, I believe. Although his job is insecure. If they lose the cup final, who knows? Last game of the season in the Bundesliga. Bayern lose again and finish in 6th place. They will not be in the Champions League next year. I mean, they have over 6 million free in their wage budget though. And what about Mr. Guardiola? Man City versus Brentford. City win on the last day. If he doesn't get sacked, he deserves all the plaudits, I'll be honest. All right, we're gonna watch this cup final to end this off. Heskey, Alcala, Yankuto, Nubise, Rodri, Dadamascol, Simon Poseg, Ake. I can't read the rest of the names because it goes too fast. Can they beat a team like this? Haaland broke his leg, damn. It didn't look good, as 2 first half goals brought Arsenal ahead. However, a Rodri strike out of nothing gave Pep a chance with around 20 to go. Sadly, or not really sadly, they've had plenty of success in recent years. It'd be a trophyless season as the Gunners would find a 3rd and lift the FA Cup. Koto was the only player who had one of the worst average ratings, as Man City's season ends with 4 senior players. They, along with Pep, survive and are champions of the FM Nuzlocke.
Can Manchester City that the one
FM Nuzlocke. Wow, Arsenal made the Champions League final. Arsenal fans would love this save. Looking at other teams, Juventus were 3rd place. They actually had a lot of players that survived by the end, but Thiago Motta was sacked and they have nearly been relegated. And then the other teams that got sacked before January, Paris Saint-Germain, who finished 5th in Ligue 1. That means no Champions League for them. Meanwhile, Barcelona, 9th place. Barcelona was awful.